Welcome to another episode of Candidly with Coffee. You guys, this is a special episode. This is our 500th episode of Candidly with Coffee, so I cannot wait to get into it. Let's go, episode 500. Welcome back, everybody.
Damn, what a stretch. 500.
500. Now, it hasn't been 500 episodes on YouTube,
No.
but it's been 500 since February 2nd when we launched episode number 1, February 2nd, 2020.
Wow, what a journey, huh? Because you forced my arm. Like, we should start a podcast, and I was fighting on you, like, for what? What are we going to talk about? Remember,
So anti.
I probably didn't even look like I was in the mood by the first couple episodes.
No, and it was actually perfect because I received a comment, and you guys, we're going old school. I decided for episode 500 that we were going to take it back to the old school ways. I don't even have a rundown for this episode. For you guys are watching this on a Monday. And I just wanted to have a conversation like we used to. We literally would flip the camera on and you would get annoyed sometimes. You would be like, all right, so what are we talking about? You would be so rude about it sometimes.
Yeah, I know. I wasn't in the mood.
Anyways, so is that what you're going to ask me right now? What are we going to talk about?
I probably wasn't even confident what we were going to talk about, or myself, really. And I probably didn't feel good. Let's be honest. Look how I looked back then. Come on, man. My energy, my frequency was way different back then than it is now.
That is very true. And actually, ironically, somebody commented, Margarita Doza, I believe. Margarita Doza, I think I wrote it here.
She's been following us since back then?
8077 commented on an episode 215, which was on YouTube. And I think it was our second episode on YouTube. And it was 2 years ago. I think we had went to YouTube like 3 years ago and had a few episodes and then stopped and then went back to YouTube. You're actually the one who pushed me to go to YouTube.
I did. I kept saying, we got to get to YouTube because of Joe Rogan. I watch him on YouTube.
Yeah.
So we got to get to YouTube. We need more eyes on us.
And it was hard for me because I thought it's so much work to do it on YouTube for literally nobody to watch it, because those first episodes on YouTube, they got maybe 30 views, 50 views if I was lucky. So it was a lot of work for nobody to watch. And I remember I would do it and think, like, why am I doing this? We should just go back to just the podcasts, like, why am I doing this? I would get annoyed. I almost gave up so many times because I thought nobody's even watching this. Why am I doing all this work to put a video up? Because it took forever to upload. It was hoopla. The sound was bad. The video quality was bad. It was all bad.
But look, that's the moral of the story, is you got to go through all that bullshit. Your first video ain't going to be the best. When you post content on social media, ain't going to be the best. You're not going to sound the best. We didn't even have subjects to talk about. No context. We just talked. And you just got to stay the course, and you just got to stay the course. And then one day you evolve like we've been, and look where we're at now. Look how far we've come.
I know. It's crazy. I actually went back and watched some of that episode when she posted that comment, and you were congratulating me on a milestone on YouTube. You're like, oh, you just hit a milestone. You're YouTube famous. And I was like, no, I'm a micro account or whatever. You're like, no, but that's good. You just hit 5,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
So 2 years ago,
Wow.
I had 5,000 subscribers. The video has, a couple hundred views now, but that video has been there for a few years. I know people go back and watch the old ones, but I'm telling you, when I would post these videos, they would get no comments. There's not a single comment on that video, only hers. And they would get like 30 views. Yeah.
Of course. It's defeating. And that's why people give up. So people I think their assumption is, I'm going to start a podcast. Okay, cool. I'm going to start talking. All right, cool. Start talking. They might do an episode or two. They see they're not getting any traction, any views, no comments. They might be lucky to get 10. And then before that, I don't know the statistic or the average. I think it's like a month in, people quit. It's
yeah,
quick.
most people, most podcasts don't have more than 2 episodes or something like that.
Okay.
And it's something crazy, like 90% of all podcasts that are started do not make it to 100 episodes. Like a very small percentage make it to 100 episodes.
Yeah, because I don't know what it was last time. Well, last time Jamie was talking about it, which is Joe Rogan's producer, and I believe he's his editor. He said something like 2.5 million podcasts are out there, but He said, but not a lot of them are active, like consistent.
Yeah. So it's, yeah, that's a high number, but most people are not consistent. There's been so many times I've gone to look at someone's podcast and I look at their schedule. I'm like, oh, they haven't posted in a year. Like they just stopped.
Yeah. And just because you have a huge following, let's just say you have a huge following on Instagram or TikTok and you're famous on those shows or Facebook, I'm the shit. I got 1 million followers. Sorry, it doesn't translate to YouTube. That's a different animal. They don't hit it on YouTube and they get mad. Their ego gets crushed because they don't have a lot of subscribers. First off, you can't buy followers. I love that about YouTube. They don't let you buy subscribers. You got to earn them.
No, I'm sure that there are still services that you could buy where they can give you like, they'll do some, there's always fucking ways to do that shit. But I think that YouTube is really good about catching that kind of stuff though. And they'll fucking just take your account away.
Oh, they don't play that. You got to be super careful what you talk about on here.
Yeah.
What you post. Stay out of the politics, stay out of the BS.
That's why we started Patreon. Yeah. So look at, like, fast forward. Okay, so 2 years ago, I had 5,000 subscribers. We had, it was episode 215. You looked completely different. We were in my, bonus room in our house. Yeah. We were in the bonus room. We had poor sound, shitty mics, terrible lighting. It's crazy how many different... and we had already upgraded a little bit there.
And it's only because of you, because if you would have said, you know what, babe, I don't think this is going anywhere. Let's just call it. I'd be like, all right, let's call it. Because I didn't see where it was going. Maybe you saw. Maybe you said, let's just stay the course.
I didn't really... I think about that all the time. I didn't really. I don't know. I wonder sometimes why I wanted to keep doing it. I don't know. I do know that there were a few times that I skipped an episode where we skipped, and I would wake up to like DMs saying, hey, where's the episode?
Yeah.
And it would shock me. 10 DMs. Hey, I'm looking for the episode. Where is it? What's going on? And I remember telling you, oh my God, babe, people are waiting for us to drop the episode. Like, we can't just not put an episode out. If we're going to do this, we got to do it. And I think it was during those times that kept me going, because even if it wasn't a lot of people, to know that there were people that would literally get in their car on a Monday morning and get upset if our podcast episode wasn't there.
Yeah. So I not to go way off topic, but the Saturday that I couldn't make it, did you film that episode yourself? Did you end up doing an episode on your own?
Yeah.
You did.
Because I was sitting here waiting for you, remember?
Yeah.
And so I just did it by myself. So I don't think we have missed. The only time I think that we missed 1 week of episodes, so we missed 2 episodes, was when my mom passed away. So during that week, I did a best of, and I put out 2 of our most popular episodes. Okay. And then we came right back. That was it.
I mean, let the record show. I had an episode on a Friday, late night, was emitted Saturday early morning, didn't get out till Sunday afternoon. I don't think I made it Monday to record.
No, we don't record Monday. You did make it Wednesday.
I still made it Wednesday. It was hard, too. I wasn't myself yet. I had a truck up here and said, the show must go on. I didn't back down.
The funny thing is I am sure if we go back and watch that episode, you'll see like your energy and just your whole vibe.
I never looked at it. I should go back and look at it, because I was struggling just to talk, because it does take energy from your brain thinking.
It does.
Just to say the words
a lot.
Yeah. So I probably wasn't myself. Probably was a little bit. You probably carried the whole show. Who knows how many words I said? I don't remember. It's like a blank to me.
Listen, there was a lot of shows I had to carry.
Oh yeah, for sure. There's some shows where I was snoozing on you again and falling asleep.
You guys, he literally fell asleep many times, not just once, many times, and you would say, "Oh, it's because your voice is soothing."
It is soothing, though. It is soothing. Ask the audience. It is. A friend of mine said too, "Oh, when me and my wife or girl used to argue, she'd put me to sleep." I'm like, "What?"
That's weird.
That's funny to me.
And there was times too that you would come to the show high as a kite. I would get so irritated because you would go in the garage before we recorded and you'd be completely obliterated
Stupid.
for the show.
That was dumb. I don't know why I was thinking about doing that. You're not operating on a high frequency. You're not hitting. You know what I'm saying?
I remember I used to have to say hello because I would talk and you wouldn't respond and be like, "Can you hear me?" I can only imagine the shows that are out there for people to hear and what they sound like.
Now they're going to go back and research them and go look.
So bad.
But again, we had to go through all that to get where we're at. And here we are, 500. It's been a journey, and we're not even closely done yet. We're barely scratching the surface.
Yeah, and I think so. Let's talk about. This is a very informal episode. I thought it would be cool to just go back to our roots and just turn on the mics and talk. That's just like we used to.
Yeah.
But I wanted to talk about some things that are coming up. Definitely I have some interviews slated. So some cool, interesting interviews will be on the show of people's like incredible transformations, talking to other weight loss coaches and different situations they experience with clients, what's worked for them, what hasn't, things that you guys can get gems from that can help you in your journeys. So we have stuff like that coming up. Obviously, now with the studio, we have a better production.
Yes.
Which is fun. So this year, even though we've had a lot of improvements over the years, the biggest change has come over the past couple of months.
Oh, yeah. We did a big old jump. Like I said, for those of you who don't know, you probably heard the story. You probably remember, but you're my client. You didn't want to meet my client. Then you met him. You guys had a 10-minute conversation about doing a podcast. And he had a grand idea, like, you know what? I got an empty room upstairs. Let's do it. Let's do a podcast. You're like, all right, let's do it. Let me see the room. And once you saw the room, your light bulb went off.
Yeah. We use this studio quite a bit because we've got Mauricio Mejia Live. We're currently doing a show. I'm producing and hosting a second show that won't be coming out for a while.
Yeah.
Then we have your show, and you've recently had an in-studio guest, which that was awesome. Yofan Enriquez, he was Wes Watson's very first. You guys know, if you guys have been here a while, Mike talks about Wes Watson quite frequently.
Yeah.
But Wes Watson is big on personal development, and he's a very polarizing, let's just say.
Very polarizing.
But his very first client that he coached into personal development coaching, to be a coach, was Yofan, and you had Yofan on the podcast, and now you're working with Yofan as well.
Isn't it crazy to you, babe? Does it blow you away that I'm meeting these dudes strangely on Instagram, and we're just connecting, we're just vibing? And then one day, you kept getting on me, babe, you got to get a guest on your show. You got to get a guest on your show. And I said, you know what? Something told me to reach out to him. I'm going to reach out to him. Like, hey, bro, because I know he has a good following, and he talks a good game online. I know he's coaching, so I reached out to him, and he gladly obliged. I said, you know what? I was thinking about coming up to San Francisco to visit and bring my family. And one day he says, okay, we're coming up to Frisco. I said, all right, let's do it. So,
you know what it is? It's a lesson for you guys, because the problem is people are always saying they're thinking about doing things. We talked about this earlier. They ponder things and ponder whether you're going to hire a coach or start a business or whatever, and you ponder your life away.
Yes.
Let me think about it. That let me think about it is the kiss of freaking death.
Yes,
that
it is.
Statement, let me think about it. You know what the difference is for me over the years, and I've gotten better and better, is I stopped saying that.
Yeah.
Let me think about it, and started just taking action, even if I didn't have it figured out.
I mean, look at the studio. My client says, let's do a podcast. You're like, let's go. You didn't say, let me think about it. The moment didn't scare you.
No, I didn't.
And you started getting ideas, and you went home that night and started putting it on paper there, what's that called, rendering, as we call it in the car world, and you sent it to him, like, boom, and he saw, oh shit, she's not playing, like she really wants to do this.
Because you know what happens when you say let me think about it, you are giving yourself more time to talk yourself out of things because you're feeling uncomfortable.
Yes.
But you have to understand that feeling, if you're feeling uncomfortable, usually means it's something that you should probably do.
Yep.
Not do. But if you say, let me think about it, you're giving yourself time to talk yourself out of it.
Yes, that's so true. It's like hiring a coach. You know you need a coach. You know you want a coach. You know you're stuck. You can't do it on your own. You've been trying it. Your method does not work. And sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but your body shows by your actions. So you know you need help, but then you're like, let me think about it. Like, dude, let me talk to my wife. Homeboy, don't you think your wife would want you to level up? She doesn't want to hurt your feelings and tell you that, but deep down, she wants you to level up. So why not just do it? Why not take the plunge, take the leap of faith? You got to bet on yourself, you guys. Take a risk. Stop being scared. Not going to get nowhere with that scared mentality.
Yeah, I've really made it a practice to stop doing that, even if I want to do that. Ooh, let me think about it. No, Because I know that results in probably not doing something because I'm scared, because I'm uncomfortable, because I'm tired, because I'm nervous, I'm unsure. So if you take anything from that, it's stop thinking about things. That you guys know the biggest sneaker company in the world, the biggest athletic wear brand in the world, right? $1 trillion company probably, what? Nike.
Yeah.
What is their motto?
Just do it.
Just do it.
I just tell myself all the time, instead of overthinking things, just do it. Don't procrastinate, just do
Hello,
it.
Nike said it. Just do it. They say there's like a statistic. You shouldn't wait more than 7 seconds. Like if you're trying to decide something, it's 7 seconds. If you wait longer than 7 seconds, then it's a whole let me think about it thing.
Yeah.
You got to just do it. Like if you're going to get into the cold shower, don't stand and stare at the cold water.
No.
You stand there more than 7 seconds, you ain't doing it.
No.
You're going to talk yourself out of it.
Nope.
Get
You're
in
right.
there and go,
That's so
all right.
true.
Let's
just jump
do it.
in there head first. Like, yep, that's true. You have to. You can't overthink it because you won't do it. You'll find a million reasons to talk to yourself. Maybe I should skip today. I'm not in the mood. Or maybe I'll do it later. Or this or that. You'll have no, man. Just set the timer and just jump in there and go.
Yeah. Haven't you ever seen people like they're about to get their ears pierced? I used to pierce ears or a tattoo or whatever. They go, no, what are you waiting for?
Yeah.
For what?
Yeah.
It's still the same. Just get it over with.
Yes.
Just do it.
Yes. Like even artists will, even to this day, be like getting their gun ready, hit your skin. All right, you ready? Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
I'm not thinking about it, bro. I'm not sitting here pondering in the pain.
That's what I say. I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Like you should give me my shot. I take a testosterone shot once a week. I hate needles. I have a very big fear of needles. I can't look at it or anything, but I've never said to you, wait, babe, that's not going to help. I just say, okay, you just come in and say, okay, let's do it. And I'm all right. No matter what I'm doing, I just do it.
Yeah.
So I think that's a lesson for everybody in the podcast. Did I hold on? I better do a lot of research first or whatever. I have learned that it's best to just try and fail and learn from it and try again and fail and learn from it than to wait until it's the perfect timing and all the stars are aligned and you've done all your research and you have all your savings or whatever it is. And now I'm ready. No, it doesn't work. Do it and fail and do it again and fail and do it again. Look, like using Riverside. We just used Riverside for Mike's first remote podcast. I've been wanting to use it for a while. It's an alternative to Zoom. We talked about it on the last episode. And I didn't say, no, babe, don't schedule a podcast yet. I haven't figured it out. What I do, just figure it out. Go get yourself a guest. And once you get a guest, I'll have no choice. I'll just have to do it. I'll figure it out we'll figure it out as we go.
Kind of like all this stuff you got, all this equipment you got. You were scared. And I had no doubt. I was like, you know what? You'll figure it out because everything in life, the first time you might not be the best at it. Second time, a little better. Third time, but the more reps you put into it, the better you're going to get. Next thing you know, autopilot. And you'll be happy you did it.
I mean, I had a million technical difficulties here in the studio. You guys know, lighting, this, that. And it's just, I didn't stop. I didn't think, okay, guys, we're going to take a break from episodes until I can figure out the new production. No, you just do it. Like Nike says, listen, they're a freaking multi-trillion gazillion dollar company for a reason, right? That motto has really stuck with them. And it really is true.
Yeah. And they weren't even the biggest shoe company, the sneaker company in the world. Converse was at the time. Converse and Adidas were way bigger. They were small, but they took risk. They went for it. And by taking risk and going for it, look where they're at now. They're the top dog. And that's what people didn't realize. You got to take risks. You got to bet on yourself. Who best to bet on? The lottery or yourself? What's more guaranteed? Yourself. The lottery, just 1 in a quadrillion chance you'll win it. Yourself, if you put in the work and do the reps, chances are you'll conquer that goal that you set in mind that you were scared to do.
Yeah, it's all like that mindset shifted.
It is.
I was producing the show that you had with Kyle Perry, and you guys talked about so many cool things in that show. And I got so many gems myself from listening to you guys. But one of the things that you said that I thought was profound was you were talking about how, and I know you had talked about it with one of your clients, and that's what made you think about it. But you were saying how people are like, oh, macros is too complicated. I can't learn it or whatever. But yet that same person knows exactly what the Warriors win schedule is. They know how many 3-point shots that Steph Curry has taken. They know all the stats. They know who's going to be the MVP. They know the stats of this. They know the Super Bowl stats. They know who's likely to get into the playoffs. They know it all.
They know it all. They know everything. They know all the numbers.
That same person is the one that's saying, no, man, it's too hard. It's too complicated. I can't do it.
Oh, I don't have the time to learn it or do it. Or really you don't. But you're watching basketball 2-3 hours a night. It's about start to finish is 2 to 3 hours.
Yep.
And then let's talk about the screen time on your phone. Let me see your phone, homie.
Yeah.
Let me see your Instagram, your Facebook, your TikTok. How many hours you spend on there? Let's see your screen time.
Yeah.
You don't have the time, huh? You arrogant son of a bitch. You're a liar. You're lazy is what it is.
It's just you don't have the mindset. Like,
No.
you don't want it. And that's okay. If you don't want it, fine. Everybody has a different path in this world.
That's true.
Right? If you don't want it, if you don't want to be successful, you don't want to push yourself. You're comfortable. And that's the life you want to live. If you want to be on this earth and that's the path that you want, then that's okay.
We need those too. We need those too.
I'm okay with that.
We need the worker bees too.
I'm okay with that. What the problem is, because that's usually not what you hear. What you usually hear is people who want all these things, but they don't want to do all of these things to get there. And so they complain and, oh, I want this. I'm fat. I want to lose weight. I
want a hotter girl. My girl's busted. Complaining about their chick or anything. But here's a weird kicker. This is going to be a little off topic.
Shocking.
Check this out, you guys. Why is it, and this irks me, and sometimes I want to go talk my shit. Why is it that people follow people on Instagram, follow their success? I'll use Wes Watson as an example. Watson Fit, that's his Instagram. He posts the cars that he buys, posts his upgrades. He posts his success from when he got out of prison to where he's at now. And people are angry at him because he's successful. Oh, you're braggadocious. Oh, why are you so boisterous? Why are you so this? He's just showing people like, look, if I could do this, you could do this. But if it bothers you so damn much of his success, why are you following this man and commenting if it bothers that much? Because you can't do it? Because you don't want to do it? You want to complain about you're broke, poor, this and that? It's not his fault. That's your fault. You better blame yourself. Look yourself in the mirror.
That's because usually it's a reflection when there's trolls. It's a reflection of something that you're feeling insecure about.
Always. Even looking, once in a while, I get somebody making some stupid snide remark about me. Oh, you have to be on TRT or this and that. Come on, man. Let's be honest. You're just insecure. You're jealous. You wish you could achieve this. TRT ain't going to get you looking like this, bro. You don't have a mindset. That's the difference between you and me. You're not where I've been. That's the difference. I've been somewhere you haven't been. I know where to go deep in my mind.
I've seen some people comment on your videos before saying, put a shirt on, like if you're in a tank top. Like, why does it bother you?
Yeah. Am I making you feel insecure?
Yeah, why?
Are you nervous that your girl's staring at me too much and you're secretly getting jealous? What is it? I want to clown.
Do you remember when we were on that cruise and there was this guy, he was pretty buffed or whatever.
Yeah.
And you were going to get food and I saw him look at your arms and then he flexed up. He looked at his arms and he flexed. He wanted to make sure that like his arms were bigger than yours or something.
Jesus Christ. That's insecure right there.
I was like, oh my God.
I've never done that. I never cared. There's a lot of dudes that are way bigger than me, more. I could care less. I'm not worried about them. I do what I do for me. Not to compete with all these other dudes. You know what I'm saying? I've never been that way.
I remember I thought, oh my God, that's such a turnoff. Like that is such a turnoff, that level of insecurity that he just showed.
He just showed his trump card, how insecure he is right there. I wasn't competing with him. I wasn't walking by flexing on him. I don't do that in the gym. No. I don't chest puff. Man, I'm 49 years old. I care less. I'm doing me, man. I'm not worried about what everybody else is doing. There's always going to be somebody stronger and bigger.
But before we went off topic, my whole point was saying that I'm perfectly fine if you are good where you're at and you are happy. That's the way you want to live your life. Then that is fine. That is your choice. But usually my issue is I don't take issue with that. I take issue with the people that they complain.
Yes.
But they don't take action.
Yes.
But they complain. And they're the loudest complainers.
Oh, yeah. The biggest babies.
They complain daily. I'm fat. I got to lose 10 pounds. They always got to lose 10 pounds. That's
more than that, homie and sweetheart. Trust me. You're far from that.
I always got to lose 10 pounds. But they're the biggest complainers. They're the ones who will ask me ad nauseum, how do I lose weight? It's the most annoying question, by the way, from someone who you really know. They don't really want to know. They don't want to do anything about it.
I won't talk about that.
It's almost like they just want to acknowledge that they know they're overweight. So they want to just tell you that they know they're overweight. I don't know. Yeah. It's weird.
Or also the people who are in dire need, who are in bad health and complain on their deathbed. I'm going to do better. I promise. I'm going to stop drinking and eat better. Oh, man, you should have done that before. Why are you waiting now? You know what I'm saying? Like people they wait too long.
But I have to say, I have had several people reach out and make comments and DMs and comment about us. And because of our content that they have said, I know this is not to sound dramatic, but this has changed, like you guys have changed my life. Because of you, I went to the doctor. Because of you, I'm checking my blood pressure. Because of you, I'm making health a priority. Yeah. And that's why we do this. It's If you don't want to make a change, then guess what? You're not listening to our show.
No.
Because this wouldn't be your show.
No.
So
Same for you.
Usually these comments that I'm making aren't for the people that don't need to hear it, won't hear it, because those people will not be, they're comfortable. They're happy. They're in their, they want to walk this earth in that way.
Yeah.
And they're not concerned about their health or whatever. They're just living a different path, and that's fine. And they're not listening to our show. They're not following us on Instagram. Those aren't our people.
Nope.
But the problem is there's a lot of people who do listen to our show and follow us on Instagram, follow us on social media, and their actions don't align with what they want.
Yeah.
So you have to determine, because you think there's going to be this perfect moment to take action.
Never.
They're collecting data.
Yeah.
They're the ones that are saying, let me think about it. Let me listen to 500 more episodes of Candidly with Coffee.
Yeah.
Let me ask you 50 million more questions about which macros are right for you before I actually just buy a macro assessment from Janine, who I've been watching her for a couple of years now, who knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, you don't want it.
You don't want it. Same thing. There's a reason why some people are successful in life or some are not. You just don't want it. You don't want to put in the work. You don't want to know what it takes to put in the work. Mm-hmm. And when you tell them what it takes, that's too hard. That's too much work. I can't. They're already defeated before they start. Have you tried
you don't
it?
want it.
Have you started? Have you gave it a shot? No.
That just means you don't want it. And I think the most important thing is, I know we've talked a lot lately about visualization, which you guys know I'm big on. But I think there's a missing thing that I haven't talked about when it comes to visualization. In addition to visualizing where you're going and what you're going to be doing, I want you to visualize. So what are the habits of the life of that person in your vision that's got this hot body? They're running on the beach. They're walking up to their fancy sports car after playing volleyball shirtless on the beach and all of that.
Yeah.
What are their daily habits? What does that person do? What is their morning like? How often do they exercise? What's their grocery shopping habits? I want you to think of those things too. Because if you can, those are things you can do now. You may not look like them yet. You may not have the keys to the Porsche or the fancy penthouse apartment.
Neither did they.
But you can already do the things they do. I do this because I think about that. I have pretty strong visions right now. And I think when I'm tired or when I want to bitch about how tired I am or busy or how much work I have on my plate and all the things that I'm taking on, I think to myself, but the person that's getting out of that car with that nice purse and walking up to that penthouse, this is what they do. They work really freaking hard. So I'm working really hard to become that person. I'm doing the things that are within my control now.
Yeah, they sacrificed.
Yeah, and so that's what I'm doing. And just like this lovely subscriber who commented on episode 215, and we go back and laugh about that. I'm hoping that 2 years from now, we can go back at this episode and laugh at this. Oh my gosh, remember when?
I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you something. Go ahead. Well, don't worry.
Remember when you said you guys were in that studio and you said this, that, and the other, but look at you now. I want this to be another before. I always say that too to my clients, like when they're excited, sometimes when they're excited, when they're on their journey and they're happy with their after right now, they've already had some success, but they still have some ways to go. I'll say, isn't it going to be amazing when this picture that's your current after picture becomes your before picture? Like, because you're going to keep going because you're not where you need to be yet. You're not where you want to be yet. Yeah.
I was looking for the comment of this one lady who said, you don't know this, but as to that regard, you've changed my life. You helped me transform. You helped me change my mindset. I'm out getting my steps while listening to you guys. She's just telling us we lit a fire in her ass. I was looking for the comment on YouTube.
Good luck. You ain't going to find it. We have hundreds of comments.
I forgot which one I can't find it on here. I need my laptop.
But yeah, I know we get comments like that every day and I love it. And I do love, there's so many people just by listening to us that they're taking their nuggets or gems, like we say, and then they're implementing. They're taking action, even though they don't have it figured out, even if they're going to stumble. Like even my clients in my current challenge group or whatever, like they're stumbling through the process, and that's how it is. And they're like, sometimes I feel bad about it, and I'm like, no, this is how it works.
What you think, it was going to be smooth sailing the whole time?
It's not smooth sailing.
I got to ask yourself, is life smooth sailing? What you think, it's all peaches and roses and you're not going to have ups and downs? You're fooling yourself. You know what I'm saying?
I like to think about it like when I first opened up this thing for the very first time, and I thought, oh my God.
What did I get myself into?
Yeah.
And then that thing came?
That thing stayed in the box for a couple of weeks before I opened it. It gave me a stomach ache.
Yeah. But eventually, what you do? You figured it out. You had no choice.
But it's the same thing with when someone's starting a new program, whatever, they're failing on their macros. They have no idea what to eat. Eventually, you learn. But you got to, in order to learn, you have to take the action. You have to go through the suck, like you say. You used to say that a lot. You have to go through the suck.
Every time when I first started doing that cold shower, because I hear from Joe Rogan, is you got to just go through the suck. You got to do the hard. If you want to create a hard man, you got to go through the hard things in life. You don't want to go through soft things in life. Oh, you want a hardened man. I'm like, I like that you have to go through the hard things in life in order to get where you need to be. It's true. What do you think? It's going to be smooth? You can't think it's just going to be easy. Nothing comes easy. I'm sorry. Like Zaza Pachulis used to say, nothing comes easy.
Nothing easy.
No.
Remember, that was a funny YouTube thing. But speaking of being busy and
exhausted,
getting things done and taking on a lot of things, I have to cut this episode a little short because I have to do a client live. I got to talk to my clients, and we are doing we're doing a little pre-recording, just full transparency, because we traveled for you guys. We traveled this past weekend, but we're recording this prior to our travels. So we'll recap our trip and give you guys all that good stuff on Friday's episode. But yeah, thank you guys so much for being here, for getting us to this place, for growing us on YouTube, for growing us on the podcast, for leaving us reviews, for sharing it. We would not be here without you guys. No studio. It wouldn't matter, right? It wouldn't matter if we had a studio, a fancy microphone, and fancy things if nobody was listening.
No, it means nothing.
And I know we're harsh sometimes, but that's us. We can only be authentically ourselves.
That's it.
We don't know how to be any other way, honestly, but we thank you guys, and I cannot wait till we can refer back to episode 500 and think, wow, look how far we've come. 500 will become our after.
It will.
Just like this is now our after to that episode 215. This 500 will be our new after to episode 700.
And imagine one day we'll be at 1,000 and we'll look back at this. We'll be like, wow, look how far we've come. It'll be a whole different everything. Who knows where we'll be? Sky's the limit.
Who knows? Sky's the limit, because we're going to continue to push forward like we have been. And that's what we want you guys to do too, to live your best life while you're here.
That's it.
You only have one.
You only have one. Remember that.
All right. Thank you guys so much. And for those of you on our Patreon, we'll see you in the after show.
Another